Inflation is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services rises over time. When inflation goes up, every dollar you own buys a smaller percentage of a good or service. Central banks like the Federal Reserve typically target 2% annual inflation as healthy for economic growth. But when inflation spikes above that, as we've seen in recent years, it erodes purchasing power rapidly. Inflation is measured using the Consumer Price Index, which tracks the prices of a basket of common goods including food, housing, transportation, and medical care. Here's the painful math. If your savings account pays 0.5% interest but inflation runs at 4%, you're losing 3.5% of your purchasing power every single year. That's not just standing still, that's going backwards. Over a decade, high inflation can wipe out a quarter or more of your savings' real value. This is why parking all your money in a traditional savings account is actually one of the riskiest things you can do with your long-term money. The real risk isn't market volatility, it's the certainty of inflation eating away at cash. First, use high-yield savings accounts or money market funds for your emergency fund. They won't beat inflation, but they'll minimize the damage. Second, invest your long-term money in assets that historically outpace inflation. The S&P 500 has returned an average of about 10% annually over the past century, far exceeding inflation. Third, consider real estate, which tends to appreciate with or above inflation while generating rental income. Fourth, look into Series 1 savings bonds, which adjust their interest rate based on inflation. They're one of the safest inflation hedges available. The key is to make your money work harder than inflation works against it. Inflation and how it affects savings. Inflation is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services rises over time. When inflation goes up, every dollar you own buys a smaller percenta,